Hello scent addicts, welcome to Fragrance Therapy. I'm your host Alam. And today I'm going to go over my 10 most worn cologne fragrances that I rocked this summer. It's still pretty hot where I live, so if it's the same for you, you can definitely squeeze this into your rotation before the cooler fall months hit. So I kind of broke these down into 4 categories: beach freshies, out the shower freshies, freshies with a kick, and then fruit dominant freshies. So let's dive in. So we're going to start off with the category of beach freshies, and first up I have Armaf Beach Party. Now this is a clone of Summer Hammer by Lorenzo Pizzaglia. I've never smelled that one, so I've never gotten my nose on it. So I can't tell you how close this one is to the original. What I can tell you is this is a 2025 release, and it's like a tropical beach vacation in a bottle. So at first you get this burst of tropical fruits and grapefruit, and it's like a very zesty and vibrant opening. It's like a tropical fruit punch. Then you get this like marine seawater note. And that seawater note is balanced by this creamy sweet guava. And that's what makes this a really unique fragrance, because that guava note is awesome. And the dry down is clean and smooth with this subtle woody and musky note. Now getting into performance, longevity is not super long. You'll get about 6 to 7 hours on this. But projection in that first 2 hours is really strong. This one, you spray it on, that first couple hours you will get noticed. And for some reason this summer, this one didn't get that much hype, and you can get it for like 35 bucks on Joma Shop. That is Beach Party by Armaf. Next up for the beach freshies, I have Maison Alhambra's Jean Lo Vibe. Now if you can't already tell from the bottle, this is a clone of Louis Vuitton's Pacific Chill. Same looking bottle, magnetic cap on this one, decent atomizer as well. And this one gets really close to that OG, about 85%. Now I know there are tons of Pacific Chill clones out there. I still wanted to bring this up because this one is a true cheapie, and I'll tell you how much it cost in a little bit. This one could have definitely gotten the fruit dominant category as well, but I think with this one, when I smell it, it just gives me beach and aquatic vibes. So that's why I kept it in the beach category. The fruits in here do pop though. You get a zesty burst of citron, lemon, and oranges up front. So very citrus forward. But you also get blackcurrant and peaches in here. All those fruits and freshness is complemented by some herbal notes like mint, basil, and coriander. And if you know me, I love the way mint and herbs kind of blend with fresh fragrances. I think it always works really well. You also get palm tree vibes with this one because in the base you also get dates and figs, and that creamy sweetness helps balance the fragrance out. Longevity is average about 6 hours. You'll get definitely longer on clothes, but projection is where this one shines, especially in the first 2 hours. This is surprisingly strong. I think those citruses really cut through. And it's one of the fragrances that I've gotten the most compliments, surprisingly, this year. So that's another reason why it's on the list. This one I saw on Amazon for about 30 bucks, but I have seen it on other sites for like $25, $22. It might be a little bit out of stock right now, but the stocks keep replenishing. When they do, you can get it for close to 20 to 25 bucks. So that is Jean Lo Vibe by Maison Alhambra. So let's change categories to out the shower freshies, and my number 1 pick for that one is Haramin's Amber Oud Carbon Edition. This is hands down one of the best clones you can get for Creed's Green Irish Tweed. And this one gets about 90% close to that original DNA, and I love Green Irish Tweed, so that's why I'm not surprised that I reached for this a lot this summer. So you get a crisp blend of herbs and citruses in this one as well, but more importantly, you get this clean, invigorating, soapy vibe. Think Irish Spring soap if you're familiar with that one, but in fragrance form. It's green, it's earthy, and it's fresh. And there are other clones of this DNA. For example, I have Ragba for Men. I don't know if you can see it. Ragba for Men from Lattafa, and there's Très Nuit by Armaf. But I think when it comes to performance, how close it gets to the original, this one blows those out of the water. So you're getting solid performance with this one. I think it's about 8 hours on skin. This fragrance will give you presence, but without being overpowering. So projection isn't great, but that's not what this fragrance is designed for. This is a more toned down, sophisticated fragrance. Some people think this is an outdated DNA. Not me. I still love it, still reach for it. So that's why it's on my list. That's Alharamin's Carbon Edition. Oh yeah, and you can get this on Joma Shop for about 35 bucks. No brainer. Next up in the out the shower category, we have Game of Spades Full House by Joe Milano. This one is a clone, another great atomizer, of Louis Vuitton's Imagination, and in my opinion, it gets about 85% close. What you get with this one is out and out luxury hotel soap vibes. This one is a fresh soapy citrus with a prominent tea note, and I think this one in particular, there's tons of Imagination clones out there. This one does that tea note, which is particularly hard to capture, better than a lot of the other ones out there. Longevity is also pretty good with this one. I got 7 to 8 hours on skin. For this scent profile, it's pretty good because the OG isn't that great performing either. That first hour, the projection is really strong. People can smell you for about 3 to 4 feet away. But after that, it fades off pretty quickly. This one is a bit more pricey than some of the other fragrances on this list. I think it might be looking at it, it might be the most pricey. It's about $68 on Joma Shop, but in my opinion, it's still worth that price. That's Game of Spades Full House by Joe Milano. So let's change gears here and we're going to move into summer freshies with a kick. These are ones that are a little bit more sophisticated. Spice usually plays a little bit of a factor. And we're going to start off with Tarathi Blue by Afnan. This one is a clone of Bulgari's Tiger and it gets about 85 to 90% close to that one. And this one has like an aromatic, aquatic, citrusy opening from that grapefruit and bergamot. But as it dries down, that's when you get that extra kick I was talking about. You get spices, woods, musks, patchouli. And that one really helps it differentiate itself from other freshies out there. And this one has impressive performance. I'm talking about 8 to 10 hours on skin, even longer on clothes. And then that first 2 hours, the projection is monstrous. And on top of that, you can get this one on Gift Express for only 35 bucks. Again, a no-brainer for me. That is Tarathi Blue by Afnan. Next up in the same category is Lattafa's Art of Universe. So this one is cloning Ex Nihilo's Blue Talisman. So this one opens with like a zesty bergamot mandarin combo, but then additionally it's complemented by ginger and mint that gives it that little spiciness, that little kick. And then you also get in the heart, you get orange flower and pear. Then in the base you get depth with a blend of cedarwood, ambers, and musks. It's a perfect combination of freshness, spiciness, and woodiness. And surprisingly, the Blue Talisman DNA has gotten some backlash recently. I think it's because the original is $250, and for what it is, it's a little bit pricey, but for the price point you get this, it's a no-brainer to get this over the original actually. And performance is impressive on this one as well. You're talking about 8 to 10 hours of longevity, and projection, you get a nice strong scent bubble for the first couple of hours. This is probably one of the stronger performers on the list. I was able to find this for about $37 from lrlux.com. I've ordered a bunch of stuff from those guys. Shipping is quick and the prices are amazing as well. And when they usually do these Art of Arabia 1, 2, 3, Art of Nature 1, 2, 3, they usually do more. So I'm interested to see if they do release an Art of Universe 2, what that might be like. That's Lattafa's Art of Universe. And the final one for Freshies with a Kick is Shiaka Silver, also known as Shiaka Red by Khadlaj. This is a clone of Amouage's Reflection Man, and it gets really, really darn close. I'm talking about, again, maybe 85% to the original. And right off the bat, you get this heavy dose of spices from like rosemary and peppers. And that's accompanied by a citrus note that comes from the petitgrain. All of that gets elevated with floral notes like neroli, jasmine, and orris. And then you get some depth with some woody notes like cedar, vetiver, and patchouli. This one is the most sophisticated, but it's also the most versatile. I think this one you can use when it's really hot or it's a cooler night. You can use it in the daytime at the beach. You can use it at the office. It really works in all occasions. And it's not like an overpowering fresh fragrance. And to me, this one, out of all of the freshies with the kick, this is the ultimate one because it checks all the boxes. Performance is good, about 7 hours, and this projection is not the greatest on this one, but this is, again, this is not a very citrus forward fragrance, so that zest doesn't cut through, but this isn't meant to be that. This is more close to the skin intimate scent, and I think for that it's perfect. And this you can get at a killer deal at $35 on Joma Shop. If you want a summer freshie that you can use almost in all occasions, but works especially well with like work and even like dressed up events, like, you know, suit and tie events, you could probably use this to pull that off. So that is Khadlaj's Shiaka Silver. So the final category is fruit dominant freshies. And the last one on this list is also my overall most worn summer freshie of this year. But let's start with Aether Extract by French Avenue. And this is a clone of Parfum de Marly's Greenly, and is by far the closest dupe that I've ever smelled. This one has a fresh, green, fruity aroma, but the star of the show is a crisp, fresh, slightly tart green apple that's present from the opening all the way to the dry down. You also get like a fresh cut grass smell that's probably from the petitgrain and the oak moss. I know it sounds a little bit weird, but it works really, really well for like a fresh summer fragrance. And as it dries down, it smooths out with like a pleasant, musky, woody finish. Now, performance-wise, it's a little strange because most people say they don't get more than 4 to 6 hours. That is not the case for me. I get a solid 8 hours out of this one, but this one sat on, after I got it last year, it sat on the shelf for quite a while. So maybe it just matured. If you have this one, let me know in the comments how your performance was, because for me, compared to what I was reading online, I've had a much different experience with this one. And you can get this for about $39 on Joma Shop. Again, I love PDM Greenly. I love this one. I can see it not being for everybody, but again, if you like those fresh green and green apple notes, you'll like this one. That's Aether Extract from French Avenue. So technically, the next one in this category would have been Nitro Red. As far as wearing this summer, this is definitely the fruit one, this very heavy watermelon note that I've been wearing a lot. But I'm going to call an audible here because I'm going to say the pick should be, if you don't have either, the pick should be Nitro Red Intensely. Because this one just takes that DNA while it pulls back on the watermelon note, which I love in that one, but does give it an overall fruit salad note. And this one reminds me of like Invictus meets like Xerjoff's Herba Pura. And you get that fruit salad vibe from like the bunch of fruits that this has. This has apple, peach, melon, and bergamot. That combination makes it a really, really good fruit bomb. And you have to be careful with the sprays with this one because this is a fruit fragrance, yes, but it also carries that sweetness with it. So it can be cloying if you overdo it. And this is Extrait de Parfum, so be careful with the sprays. You get sweetness from like an amber note, but you also get this earthiness from like oak moss and sandalwood. But for me, that fruit mixture up top is what really is the star of the show in this one. And this is also an Extrait de Parfum, so this is a monster performer. Maybe the strongest in the entire bunch. I'm talking about 10 plus hours on skin, really, really strong projection up front. Again, I want to keep reiterating, this is a sweet fruit fragrance, but that sweetness can be a bit much, so go easy on the sprays. Even with a couple of sprays, you're going to get all day out of it. You can get this at the perfume box for about 45 bucks. I think that's where I picked it up from, and I think it's well worth that price tag. That is Nitro Red Intensely by Dumont Paris. And the final one for the fruit dominant category, as well as my #1 worn fragrance of this summer so far, it is none other than Vulcan Few by French Avenue. So mango is by far my favorite fruit, and this one delivers this juicy, realistic fruit note that I just can't get enough of. Along with that mango, you're also getting ginger, lemon, and rhubarb, but the mango is the standout here. You're getting a high quality, realistic mango that has a juicy feel to it, but you also get that zesty pop with the lemon and rhubarb. And I think it's a ginger in here that gives it like a fizzy nature. It almost like tickles your nose a little bit. It's like comes off like carbonated almost. I know other YouTubers have said it's like a mango soda, and I totally get it. And then there's a surprising note of praline in here, which I wasn't expecting, but I think it just helps add a little bit of sweetness and like a creamy quality. And then you also have florals and pink pepper in here. And I think that combination helps it from becoming overly sweet. And in the base, you get woody notes and ambergris and tonka bean. I think gives it a lasting woody and earthy feel. Performance-wise, not a beast mode fragrance, but solid performer. 7.5 to 8.5 hours on skin. And projection is so good for the first 2.5 hours. You will get noticed with this one. It's like a attention grabbing fragrance. So if you're trying to keep under the radar, probably keep away from this one because this will get you noticed. All the other freshies, when you combine them, they probably have equal amount of wear this year for me. But this one is by far and away the most worn out of my entire rotation. I'm almost sad that I have to put this away for the winter. Probably gonna still rock this in the fall. Maybe not as much, but that's how much I enjoyed wearing this summer. So my most worn freshie of the summer of 2025 so far has been Vulcan Few by French Avenue. If you haven't gotten this, grab it. You can get it for about $45 on lrlux.com. You can rock it for the rest of the summer. You might even be able to pull it off during the fall, but definitely pick this one up. So there you have it, folks. Those are my top 10 fragrances that I rocked this summer. Let me know in the comments which ones you've been using, which one have been part of your rotation, and let me know especially which one is your favorite. And as always, hit that like and subscribe button. Growing channel, really appreciate the support. And as always, stay tuned for affordable fragrance content. Until next time, I'm out.